We now know the future opponents for LSU here in the near future. We know the 2026, 27, 28, and 29 schedules. Now, we don't know like where the games are going to be placed right now, but we know the opponent and we know the location.
Let me ask you this. So they don't usually release schedules this soon, right? This isn't a normal thing.
Like you're talking about this far in advance?
Yeah.
No, I think with the new scheduling model, obviously, and they talked about reevaluating in that 4-year period that they wanted to go ahead. And all it's going to do, so the 26 home games will be away in 28. The 27 home games will be away in 29.
Okay.
So they basically gave you 2 sets, and you just flip them.
So, but I'm just wondering, is that like I don't feel like they normally give you all this information this far in advance. Are they just trying to like temper the anger of the yearly opponents for everybody? I'm sure that we weren't the only people that were like.
No, look, the SEC wanted to have a big show on the SEC network and a primetime show. That's why.
Got it.
Yeah, and so like the permanent opponents got leaked by Chris Lowe, but you didn't know who else you were going to play, when you were going to play them. So the SEC network had a big primetime show, and they rolled out the red carpet, and they kind of did their whole deal.
Look, how does that stuff get leaked? I think the stuff in the NFL, like the Adam Schefter leaks and like that, all that stuff's like choreographed a little bit.
I would assume that this was as well. I mean, Chris Lowe's been covering the SEC.
I'm just trying to figure out what the benefit is of that. If they're really trying to sell viewership on television,
I don't know. Probably to get us talking about it for 2 or 3 days before the show last night.
Yeah, but then like, why would you watch it? You know,
a lot of people did.
I know a lot of people did. Just saying, I might have tuned in.
I mean, I was grinding flag football.
I mean, obviously.
So I didn't tune in, but I do know the 2026 opponents now. Mm-hmm. You're going to have home games, and if you've got season tickets, what a year, against Texas A&M, Alabama, Mississippi State, and Texas. You got away games against Arkansas, Ole Miss, Auburn, Kentucky, and Tennessee. I actually love this. Like, I don't think your away games outside of Jordan-Hare in Tennessee, right? Like Kentucky, it's a cool atmosphere. It's not going to be the loudest. Ole Miss, not going to be the loudest. Arkansas, not going to be the loudest. And then you get home games against Alabama and against Texas and against Texas A&M. So you're going to get A&M back-to-back years at home.
We got to go to Ole Miss back-to-back years.
I love Texas finally having to come play here after you went and played there in 2019. Now you got to,
Yeah, what a year for season ticket holders for sure.
28. But, yeah, I mean, you got A&M, Texas, and Alabama all in the same year at home.
Exciting.
Now,
since we're talking about next year, this is just a hypothetical situation I'm going to throw at you right now. You can just give me an answer, and we can move to 2027. Next year is the LSU starting quarterback on the current roster.
LSU starting quarterback?
Mm-hmm. In 2026.
Yes. I think so. I think that's why you went and got Michael Van Buren.
Okay.
That's just my thought process. If you go get somebody,
I really don't have a strong opinion.
It's
the
not
question in this
question.
this day and age in college football, you never know.
Yeah, I know. So I think you go get somebody that has 8 starts in the SEC. You say, hey, we got Garrett Nussmeier. He's going to go out there, and he's our guy, obviously. But we want you to sit under him, learn under him, and we want you to be our guy in 2026. And I think, for him to be a starter and then to come to LSU and realize, like, he's going to not play, that's tough. Like, I credit. So, like, Deontay Moore did that. So, Deontay Moore was at UCLA, was the starting quarterback there, transfers to Oregon, knowing he's not going to play and sit behind Dylan Gabriel for a year, and then it's going to be his turn this year, and he's playing incredibly well. So I think it's a very similar situation that you have with the LSU quarterback room.
Oh, I'm always a big fan of a quarterback sitting and cooking a little bit. So, yeah, I hadn't seen enough of him. I mean, I'm not going to judge Van Buren off of one game, but, yeah, I hope he is. I hope he's the guy.
Well, I mean,
I don't like the thought of having to go replace a Nussmeier from the transfer portal, you don't really
Right.
unless you're getting like one of the top 5 dudes, which is a
It's a
possibility.
possibility.
I mean,
Look, I'm not
this is
speaking-
LSU. We got
right.
oozing talent
I am
everywhere,
not
right?
speaking in absolutes here because you don't speak in absolutes in the transfer portal anymore.
Hey, I'm making you flip a coin here.
If all of a sudden here comes somebody that is undoubtedly, Carson Beck goes into the portal and you're like,
Ark.
Sure. Ark. Well, I don't know, actually.
Yeah,
not right
that's
now.
fine.
You know what I'm saying, though. Like, maybe, okay, then the math changes a little bit. But, no, I think you have your starting quarterback. And, again, you have home games against A&M, Alabama, Mississippi State, and Texas. Love the home slate. Away games against Arkansas, Ole Miss, Auburn, Kentucky, and Tennessee. And also, to add to your season tickets, remember you get Clemson at home as well. So your home games are Clemson, Texas A&M, Alabama, Mississippi State, and Texas.
I'm gonna start searching now for some parking passes.
I'd
I'd like to go to some of those games.
We did have a friend that said this is a home slate that could even get Matt Flynn in the stadium.
Mm-hmm. Not without a parking pass, though. That'd be a decent one, too.
Just stop. In 2027, your home games, Arkansas, Ole Miss, Missouri, Vanderbilt, and Oklahoma. Your away games, Texas A&M, Florida, Georgia, and South Carolina. So it kind of flips. In 2027, right, your home opponents aren't as sexy as they are in 2026, but your away games, your 2 A&M, your 2 Florida, your 2 Georgia, and your 2 South Carolina. That's 4 of the hardest places to play in the country.
Yeah, that's a meat grinder right there for sure.
Home schedule's great.
The home schedule is really favorable.
Great.
It's like you said, it's not real sexy, but who knows in 2027 what the heck Vanderbilt's going to be.
Yeah.
Right? I would assume Oklahoma is going to keep ticking up a little bit every single year. I think they've had their down season, and they're going to work their way up. But who knows? Like Vanderbilt, has Vanderbilt peaked right now?
Yeah.
Have they plateaued? Have they gone as far as Vanderbilt athletic or Vanderbilt football can go as of right now? I know we're only a handful of games into the season, but they're deadly right now. They're dangerous. They can play with anybody in the country.
Oh, right now.
Can they sustain that?
Right.
At Vanderbilt.
Yeah, and I'm not even.
History says no.
History does say no. And you're right. You don't know what a team's going to be, but historically is all,
Historically, they'll not be great.
I mean, Clark understands that program. He played there.
Yep.
He knows the challenges of that
Is
place.
Clark going to be there?
Do you leave an SEC job, a place that you played, for anywhere outside of like 3 jobs?
For Florida? I don't know. For another SEC job? If you turn Vanderbilt around,
on one hand,
let me say,
I know,
if you get to the SEC championship as Vanderbilt, you don't think people are going to be throwing $10 million at them?
I get to stay in the SEC, live in Nashville, right, and have an expectation that if I win 8 games, they're going to build a statue of me, and I played there.
Yep.
Or I go live in Gainesville, Florida. I'll say that again. You have to go live in Gainesville, Florida. You have to cut.
Don't have to play LSU every year, though.
You have to cut all of your jeans into jean shorts, and you have to win at least 10 games every single year. I actually think Vandy is A-okay with me if I'm Clark Lee.
So you would stay at Vandy, then take a blue blood job?
In the last 2 years, Vanderbilt is on the same level right now.
All right.
Now I know.
What about Michigan?
Okay, I'm going to Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. I think that's one of those 3-5 jobs I'm talking about. You know what I mean?
But all coaches have egos, and that's not a disparaging remark. It's a good thing for a coach to have. It's good for quarterbacks. It's good for people in that kind of position to have, and if you use it positively. But being a former fullback, he might be one of those guys that doesn't.
Yeah.
At all. He might be one of those guys that's like, they're going to put a statue of me here in Nashville in front of the stadium, this tiny stadium in Vanderbilt.
They've added on.
Cool. A little less tiny.
It's medium size.
Medium?
It's medium size.
Nice. Good for them. Moving on up.
Well, to the point of what you're asking, they hadn't added to that stadium since the 70s before the last 2 years.
Yep.
and like they're now building like football operations buildings at Vandy.
Yep.
And so like they're finally getting things that we've always had at these other places. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I think that kind of changes like where their program's at. And again, that's going to be an away game this year, which is a massive, massive game. Like the closer we get to it, and then you're going to have them come to you in 2027. So you're right. Like you don't know where these programs are going to be. I'm just going off brand, right? I mean, like Texas is 8-4. Like it's still like a big brand. So going back to what you have in the next year, like I think that home slate's incredible. You get a chance to play Auburn again, which I'm excited about that. That's a series that I hate we haven't played over the last couple of years. Like you start talking to a lot of LSU fans whenever the change was made, whenever they kind of flipped the switch in the late 90s, and you start to see, oh, wait a minute, LSU can actually be in the conversation every year. LSU doesn't have to be excited about going to the Independence Bowl. Nothing wrong. Shout out to my hometown, 3-1 great. But I remember when you went and played in the Independence Bowl, you were fired up because you had been that bad. Well, then in the 90s, it started to change. You could see, right? You got Nick Saban, you got Jimbo Fisher, you got Will Muschamp. You start to win some games. That's when the Auburn series for me just really started to light up.
Yep.
Now, you could go back like Cecil the Diesel ran for 200 whatever yards against them. Like that game, like even those games, like really kind of got it started in the late 90s, early 2000s when we were playing every year. There was some crazy play, right? Ronnie Prue gets called for landing on top of somebody trying to block an extra point, and they win 9-8. We had a game where the guy missed a ton of field goals, and we won that game close. You had the pass to Bird. The game that we lost in 2006 at Auburn, that was a weird game. Wasn't it something like 7-5 or something, some weird scoreline, whatever it was? Like that's a series that mattered to a lot of people. It mattered to me, and I'm glad to see something like that come back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a that was the rival when we got to school. That was like the LSU rival. It goes in waves depending on what the climate is in college football, who's good, whatever. But like when I got there, that was one of the things. Like when I got introduced in high school to like the motivational highlight tape. That was
cigar game was going to be shown.
The cigar game was in there, and Phil Collins was playing, and it said, "Do you remember?" And it was them smoking the cigars, and I remember seeing that as like a high school kid, like getting recruited, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Like nothing has ever stirred my emotions more than this Phil Collins song, and watching these Auburn Tigers smoking cigars,
Cole Kublik
in their stadium. Yep.
The series history, LSU's got 30 wins, Auburn's got 24, and there's also a tie. So it's been highly contested as well. To go back, because my memory doesn't tell me exactly what the score was in these games I'm talking about, 2004, Auburn wins 10-9 because we got called for landing on top of our own guy. After they missed the extra point, would have been tied at 9. Mm-hmm. They get another chance to kick it. They win 10-9. We won here 20-17 in 2005 because their kicker missed a bunch of kicks. It was 7-3 in 2006.
7-3.
7-3.
That's classic old school SEC football right there.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. There was one year we had a safety. I can't remember. I thought it was that year. And then in 2007, of course, we went 30-24. So that series is back. Glad that series is back. Let us know what you think about the schedule in 2026.
In our 4 or 5 years here at LSU, the total number of points scored in all those games almost gets to 100. And that's 4 or 5 games.
Yeah. Good old 7-3 game there, Bo.
Wow.
It's what it used to be.
That's the kind of football Jake Hester likes right there.
10-9 and 7-3. Every play gets heightened, Bo.
How about that? 2 straight years. 19 total points.
Yep. What do you mean? It's good football.